Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Founder's Kitchen. My kitchen is extremely dirty, and I'm actually happy you can see it. But I like this concept more. I think there's more ideas in this space of this part of my apartment. I have a interesting topic for today, which is I want to talk about two things. First is my perception of success and how I think in business, like what can significantly help you be better than others in business and in general succeed in business. And secondly, I will talk about applying that for e-commerce specifically because that's what I've been kind of thinking about past days. And I'll try to be more specific. I think this sort of whole idea is not really kind of settled properly, fully down in my head, but I'm still happy to share that with you. So I believe that in business specifically, it's a competition. Basically, business is like a tournament where you compete with the brain, not physically. It's a basically brain competition. Like imagine if you think of Olympic Games, same thing here in business, but you just think and take action uh, towards your business growth. So if we see it that way, there's basically a bunch of other people willing to get the same thing as you. And there's a bunch of other people that are pretty smart, they're pretty hardworking as well. Maybe some have more experience, maybe some have more talent, maybe some have more money. And you gotta compete with them, all of them. That's not just you against someone else, it's you against a group of people, a bunch of other people. And sometimes that's you, little guy, against the corporation. Sometimes that's you against uncertainty as well, because uncertainty is a huge part of business. And so I believe the way to be better than others in business is by you can do it by identifying what others don't do, and that changes. Definitely that changes over time. Like it's been take I don't know 10 years ago for e-commerce, even like you could have launched any product on Facebook ads and you'll very likely to get sales because there's just not much competition, and there's or if there is competition, they just it's just very simple. Like it was easier. People generally focused on e-commerce, and that was already something that others haven't done. Right? This is something new. Focus on that. You succeed in that. That wasn't easy back then. People didn't know about it. Obviously, people didn't know how to do it. It had still a lot of challenges, but at the same time, it was different. Now you can't do this. Now you have to focus on something else, something more in depth, something more sophisticated in order to succeed. And that's, I believe, how you should think of your own work currently. Usually, that thing which is will get you to the next level, will get you forward and ahead of everyone else, is usually the hardest thing to do. It's usually the thing which sucks the most, which is the least interesting, requires the most effort, requires the most time. And then at some point you don't even find it valuable anymore because it's so hard and it's so kind of like it pisses you off in a way. But that's exactly, and like sometimes you actually don't know. Sometimes that is bullshit. You sometimes don't even fucking understand what you're doing because you haven't done it before, and nobody, like very likely nobody else has done it before. That's the whole point of that task, of that whole project, is to do something that others haven't done, but that comes with you like having no idea if that's actually worth it and that's relevant. And it's not just you like guaranteed catching a wave and moving forward better than others. No, this is you catching a wave and making sure you stay on the wave, and the wave is actually moving you ahead of others and not somewhere else. That's, I think, the hardest thing, the hardest part about it. And it's I think it's very personal how you discover what can literally move you forward and like basically bring you ahead of others. But at the same time, usually it's very simple. the reason you don't think about it, the reason you don't do it, because it's hard, and because you don't want to accept that, don't want to admit that. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of things in life which we admit and we get better at it. Like, we admit that we're fat, we're trying to lose weight, now we get better. Like, the day when you actually admit that you're freaking fat, that's when you get better. Because before that, you what? You were finding excuses, didn't believe in that, you were telling yourself and others that that's not the case. When it actually became the case, that's when you focus. Nothing changed, it's just the way you perceive it. Now you actually have a opportunity to change. Same thing in business, same freaking thing in business, and you always got to be on top of the game, because that one thing changes. You always, it's business is a game of the understanding customers better, making more money, hiring more people, hiring better people, developing your product, developing your marketing, all those components. But I'm almost 100% sure if there is one thing, two max bottlenecks in your business, by solving which you will double your income, or you will maybe quadruple it, or just in general get to the next level. One or two things, I'm 100% sure. You're probably doing many other things, and why not? Like, that's important to keep up with everything you do in business. Is a lot of different tasks. But at the same time, imagine you just focus on that one thing, and you might not know what it is, you might not understand what it is, but I personally, if you have a chance, recommend you guys to talk to someone who is there, or who has done that, or who has in general, like, in the next level, higher level than you are, and they're also like kind of ruthless. Like, they're not gonna lie to you about what's wrong. They're gonna literally tell you that's wrong. Like, to fix that, focus on that, because that helps a lot. Like, your problems will be 50% solved when you know what the problems are. Like, we don't know, right? That's the worst part. And that usually comes with a very strong mindset. Like, this is the hardest probably mindset to acquire, is to find hard things to do that will, you think, that have like a highest chance of making you a better person, or better business for you. That's exactly what the game is about, especially if you're at like a higher level, and if you competing with a lot of other companies, a lot of big companies as well, especially in the competitive market, of course. You probably also know what others do. Like, there is a very likely to be a like standard structure of doing what you do in business. Certain way of doing email marketing, certain way of building systems, certain way of acquiring customers, etc. Imagine you would be doing that same thing as everyone does, but better, or doing something else that others haven't done, but you think can make you better, and you just haven't done that before because you're afraid, because you don't know how to. Of course you don't know how to. Nobody knows how to. That's why everyone else is normal, because nobody knows how to do hard things and new things. But that's who you are. That's what you are. And I think that's the way to success. Not the fastest, not the easiest, but that's for sure the way to success. Especially when you build a mindset like that, and it's not only about the action, it's a lot about mindset. It's a lot about the way you perceive things. Because sure, you can put so much effort, and I think it can get you to a pretty good level if you just put a lot of effort and you just do things. But doing comes with also a bit of thinking. I think as entrepreneurs, we're really hardworking people. But if we just step back sometimes and understand what we do and how we do it, we can be faster, we can be better. We can definitely be better. Like, I personally do like a review of my day every morning, actually, and every week I do a whole review of the week, every Sunday, which doesn't always inspire me, but at least it keeps me on track with the right way of living. I think I can do a better job at it, to be honest. I think there's definitely a better system for it. But I believe if you implement a system like that, of just like what you're doing, how to do better, maybe spend like a few minutes, few hours even per week on like researching what can be done better in general, understanding it, talking to people, talking to ChatGPT, talking to yourself even, journaling about it, that will breed really great results and great things in life. That's, I think, what a lot of people neglect. So secondly, I want to talk about how it can be applied to e-commerce, because that's what I know about more. And I'm definitely not like not guaranteeing that you just focus on that one thing. It'll like make everything so perfect for you, but it will definitely put you so much ahead of everyone else, because that's what nobody else does, at least now, so far, I believe. And that is just understanding of customers and care. I've been learning more about that past days, and I believe that is the reason, that is something that was holding me back quite a lot before, but I kind of didn't give a fuck of what I'm selling, who I'm selling to, which is not the best kind of feeling and realization to have, and I have to admit that. But it kind of got me thinking, like, that I'm doing business. Like, this is business. Business is providing value. Business is helping people. Like, the main quote of the business is, I do help someone achieve something, right? That's what the business is about. You helping someone achieve something. So there's a word help, which is a crucial word in business. And if you genuinely don't care about who you're selling to and what you're selling, there's probably a big chance you will not get great results in that. And you don't have to only look for problems which you really care about and solve them. That's often, I think a lot of people in business, a lot of people in e-commerce specifically, just care. There's like really interested in business itself as a whole, like in marketing, in like creating websites, creating ads, hiring people, building teams, growing, etc. This is like the whole mindset. It's not just about the product. It's not just about customers. It's more about like a higher philosophy. And I also care about that. And I think a lot of us care about like building teams, providing value to people through teams, through paying people in general, providing somewhat good product, improving the product, delivering it to the customers, making it cheaper eventually. Yes, I think at a certain level, at the starting level, when you're just testing a bunch of things, you kind of don't care as much. But I think that's what exactly at that level, at the testing starting level, you can be better. Because you think that's what, like, creating all those research documents and proper marketing briefs and analyzing every single word you're saying in the script or you're putting in the image ads or in the website. Do you think that is done by corporates? Yes, it's done by corporates, but why can't you do this? If the corporates make billions of dollars, why don't you just do the same thing? You think you're what, like, it's gonna be, your goal is to compete with them as well. Your goal is to be at least on the same level as they are. Yes, they have tons of people in the company, but who cares? Like, see, if you want to be better, be at least on their level. So that's what companies do. They do a lot of research, they do a lot of understanding. Yes, they have more data, sure, but nowadays you get access to so much data. You can understand about the customer so much, about what language they speak, what kind of problems they have, what deeper like stories, like specific experiences they have. Like, I think this is something that's a lot of us. Because like another thing, imagine you see video. Say you're in e-commerce and you struggle with acquiring customers, and you've been like testing a bunch of ads for the past, I don't know, weeks. None of it work. And you see video online. Hey, this helped me. I've been struggling with acquiring customers for my e-commerce project where I sell fitness goods for the past 2 weeks, but that's exactly where it changed my life completely in 2 days, and I was able to generate this and this and this much. Immediately you're gonna pay attention and click, because that is just talking directly to you. That person who created that ad knew you, knows your problems, knows your experience, knows your story specifically. Like, there's no way you're just gonna like pass by the video, because this is such a huge like relevance to you that imagine how much attention you're gonna pay immediately. Same can be with your ads. Same can be with your products. Like, just understand the customers. You sure, it's gonna be easier if you are the customer of your product and you know the problems. But it's often not the case, and that's not going to be the case for the most of the products you're selling and most of the businesses you launch in the future. And plus, why not researching more? It's just always helpful. You don't even know yourself fully. and you, funny enough, you want to know more about the customer than they know about themselves, and then you know about yourself probably. So dig deeper. That's what I'm saying. Dig deeper. No, there's a lot of ways to research more. There's a lot of ways to find the relevant information. ChatGPT has deep research now. There's a bunch of tools that can give you like a sentiment analysis or whatever analysis of the market in general, of the consumers, and that's what's makes you stand out. Even not just for ads, not just for the website, but also for the products and for angles. Like imagine you didn't know, like everyone else is selling, I don't know, knee braces for running, and now you've been researching that market for like hours. You've been scrolling through different medias, through, I don't know, researches, through papers, through reviews, etc., and you found that actually there's a whole huge gap of people who don't know about anything about knee braces, and they suffer from, I don't know, maybe being overweight. This is like a simple angle probably, but still, like, that's, if nobody does that and you just find it out, that's basically easy printing money machine right there, just because you did a bit of research, you did extra research. And if you do extra research and you care a little more, now you know how exactly they feel pain in the knees, or how exactly they experience, when exactly they experience that, or who are those people, and you can create different customer avatars and talk directly to those customers. And everyone talks about that, but it sounds so simple, but it's so important. I think this whole point is the reason everyone is not paying enough attention to that is because it's overheard everywhere, and you just, okay, like, that's common, everyone does that as well, I'm just gonna do it like everyone else and that's it. No, this is not the point where you skip. This is not the point where you just rush through. This is exactly where you focus on. This is exactly what you're going to differentiate you, and this is exactly that like sweet spot of the e-commerce, which nobody is tackling, I believe. Yes, of course, good ads are important, good visuals is important, that comes with experience, but what you can do now without an experience is just put more effort and time and research. That sucked for me because I didn't like it, and it's something I just sit and read. You don't feel productive. Like you just think you're just wasting time, but it's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. If you invested in a product, if you believe in the product, you should do it. You should definitely do it. Just give a bit of a fuck a little more than others, and solve problems and know the problems. Business is about the problems. It's about problem solving. So if you know the problem really well of the other people, really, really, really well, and you know that your solution is exactly for the problem, you're gonna face ultimate success in business.